Welcome. In this episode, we will discuss virtual machine backup and DR, that is, disaster recovery, using Azure Backup and Azure Site Recovery options. Well, these services help ensure data protection and business continuity. Plus, it also minimizes downtime in case of any disaster. So let's get started. Let's begin with Azure Backup. Well, this service provides cloud based backup for both on premises and Azure resources. You can even automate backup schedules for backing up virtual machines, files, databases, and much more. Well, Azure Backup ensures that your data is available and can be restored in case of any data loss. It also offers encrypted backups to ensure security during the backup process. Just a heads up, remember, whenever you use Azure storage infrastructure, data at rest is always encrypted. Even data in transit can also be encrypted. The next concept is site recovery. Well, so let's explore Azure Site Recovery now. This service enables business continuity by replicating your workloads to Azure, specifically in a different location. Now, in the event of any disaster or outage or any issue, you can fail over or switch to your Azure site quickly, the site which is working. This will minimize your downtime and data loss again. Site recovery supports both virtual machine as well as on-prem physical servers, allowing you to maintain operations even when the primary site is down. Now remember, it's kind of a replica of your site in a different and safe location. If your primary location is down, you just switch to your other secondary location while you're fixing the primary one. This way, your service will run, not one, the service will run and your business can continue being productive. When your primary site is recovered properly and the data is also replicated, you can always fail over back or revert back. The next concept is data protection. Well, both Azure Backup and Site Recovery helps with data protection. Now, encrypted backups ensure that your data remains secure during the backup process. You can also configure retention policies to meet any compliance or regulatory compliance from government or maybe your organization to simply ensure that the data is stored for the required period. For example, some bank or financial institutes need the data to be retrievable for 7 years or maybe more than that. So you can do that. Cost-effective disaster recovery. Well, with Azure Backup and Site Recovery, you get pay-as-you-go pricing. That is true for many services on Azure. So this make it much more cost-effective than traditional disaster recovery setups on-prem or somewhere else. This flexibility actually, or this flexible pricing model, which is pay-as-you-go, will reduce your upfront or initial cost while providing you with reliable protection for the long run. So, initial investment is not that heavy. So, this is where you save a lot of money. Yes, automated testing. Well, this is the final one. So, here, automated testing is available with Site Recovery. It's the option given by Azure. Here you can test your disaster recovery plans without affecting the actual production environment. This ensures your business continuity strategy is working effectively and you are prepared for any potential disaster. It's like a dry run or test run to see that your architecture actually works or not. So let's go to our lab where we will test all of the items which we covered. So I will see you in the lab now. All right, welcome to your next lab. In this lab, we will see how we can protect our virtual machine. In simple words, how we can back it up. If something goes wrong with the machine, then we can just restore it. So right now in my environment, I have a resource group, then I have one network, and I have a running virtual machine. And I connect it to my machine over here. Now there are multiple things you can back up. How about you back up the whole virtual machine? Means the machine with the hard drive attached to it. Yes, you can do that. Or how about you back up the golden image? Remember, the golden image is just one-time backup. You're not gonna recreate it again and again. Yes, you can do that with automation, but not the most refined way of backing up your environment. But how about you are just interested in the data, not the machine? Then you can actually back up the whole hard drive. You can take snapshots of your hard drive. So there are multiple ways you can do it. Let's try a snapshot and a proper backup of the whole machine. Now over here on my machine, I will just create a new folder. Now this folder have nothing to do with the backup process. This is just to test if we restore the backup, do you see this folder back there or not? So call it demo. That's it, a simple folder. Now, if you want to take a snapshot of your hard drive, you go to your virtual machine, click on it, then go under settings, click on disk. Then select the disk of which you want to take a snapshot. Here on the disk, you will see this option called create snapshot. Click on it. Now you can give it a name. I will just say demo snap. Now, is it the first full snapshot or it will be the incremental or delta change snapshot? Well, the first will be the complete snapshot of everything. So I will just say, yes, it is a full snapshot. And then moving on, if you take a snapshot every week, it depends on your RTO and recovery point objective, RPO system. Means according to your organization scenario, how often you want to create a backup. But every time you create a snapshot, the future snapshot will be incremental snapshots or delta snapshot. So this will be the full one. And where do you want to create the snapshot? Like in local standard hard drive, or do you want redundancy as well? Well, I'll say locally redundant storage is good enough for me because I just have to show you the point. I don't want high availability right now. Next, encryption. Data at rest is always encrypted. So I will let Microsoft manage my encryption key. Networking. Yes, I want my snapshot to be available publicly, like everywhere I can use it. It's easy for the demo. But in live production, to increase the security, you should create private endpoints between your snapshot infrastructure and the virtual machine which might use it in the future. It's for hard security. Next, next, and deploy. So now I'm creating a snapshot. Now this is a relatively fast process, so it should not take that much time. All right, snapshot is created. Let's go back to the machine. Now, two things can happen. Either the whole machine might be like destroyed, the whole machine is corrupted or accidentally deleted or intentionally deleted as well. Then you can use a snapshot to create a new machine with the same data. Or machine is okay, but your hard drive got corrupted. In that case, you can just swap your hard drive because you have a snapshot. From your snapshot, you can create a hard drive and then you can just swap it. So both possibilities are there. So let's go for the big one. By the way, if you want to swap your hard drive, you just go to virtual machine, click on disk, and over here you just click on swap operating system disk. So you will choose a managed disk. I don't have it right now because I've never created it. You select it and then you swap it. And if the whole machine is gone, then you will follow the long process of creating a hard drive and then also deploying a new machine with it. No matter what, you need additional hard drive which you create out of snapshot. So let's do that. So before destroying our infrastructure, let's go to snapshot. Just search for snapshots. Here it is. You click on it. And now you have the option to create the image out of it or create a disk out of it. If you create the image, then you can use it to create a new VM. If you use a disk, then you can swap as well as create a VM with this disk. It's all up to you. So let's do both. Click here. Now I will just say it's my 0.1 version, like this is the first version. 0.01. How about this? Okay. All right. This type will be this one in the resource. So I'm going to use it, demo snap, and I will call it 1. So it's picking up the same name. That's the problem. The operating system disk name and the snapshot name cannot be same. It must be unique. But Azure is glitching out. It's just picking up the name from the actual, I would say, the snapshot. But that's okay. Let's try to create the disk first, and then we'll see the image. We need both. Let's try this. So screw up, and I will call this demo disk. Availability, I don't need it. And source type will be snapshot, yes. And which type of disk? I will create a simple hard drive of 128 gigabit. Next, encryption will be there. Networking, I want it to be accessible publicly. And let's create it. So this way I will have a separate managed disk. Perfect, I have the disk now. So let's go back and check out the disk. Yes, demo disk. Perfect, let's click on it. And let's try to create the image out of it. Demo disk is 0.0.1 version. And let's use this. Again, the same thing, it's just picking up the same name. All right, let's try one more time from the snapshot again. Snap. And let's create an image version. 0.0.1. Okay. And the data disk, I will select the opposite one, demo disk, because this also has the same information in it. Let's select this. Okay. No, there is no need to set an end of life here. All right. Now, do you want to put it in a gallery? I don't have a gallery, but you need to create one. So let's create a demo gallery. Okay. So let's create a Windows image definition. So it will be demo Windows definition. This will be a 64-bit. Publisher will be, let's say, an ITA. Offer will be an ITA, let's say. SKU, an ITA. And you can add more information if you want. Okay. That is obvious. I can't change it.
Oh yeah, I can. 25, let's say. Perfect. Next, replication. I don't want this to get replicated, so standard hard drive LRS is fine, locally redundant. I don't need it. Next, encryption. I want Microsoft to manage it. Let's create it. All right, it's done. So now we have the image and an extra disk. So let's create some problem. So here is my computer, and let's delete this accidentally. And it's gone. It's not even a recycle bin. It's gone. Now you want to bring it back. The point is that the machine is doing fine. It's just the data, the hard drive. So what we can do? Well, can you go to your machine, then click on it, then go to your setting disk, click on the disk, and over here, what we will do, you can just create more snapshot. You cannot restore from it, but one point back. Do you see this option? Now click on it and choose disk. This is the one. Well, on top it shows you all the disks, but you can also see it with the resource group to filter it. But these both are same thing. Click. Now, confirm you want to swap your operating system disk for this VM by entering the name of the VM. So name is given there, NITA VM01, NITA VM01. And you just click on OK. Now wait for it. All right, so the operating system disk is swapped. So what you get out of it? Let's try. Let's go back to our machine and make sure to start it. Means it is off. So I'll just click on start. Wait for my machine to start. Or once the status is showing that it's running, then we will just RDP to it. So I'll just copy the public IP and be ready. All right, the machine is now restarted. Let's go back. Don't worry about this. This is the old session. When we swap the disk, the machine actually, shut down. So you will lose the connection. Let's retry again. All right. Let me put the password. And wait for the connection. And here we go. What do we get back? The same folder because it's the old hardware. It's not hardware actually, it's the old hard drive. So obviously you will get your data back. So that was your, protection of your hard drive. Now, what if the whole machine is gone? Let's do that as well. I can just click on the machine and say, okay, so it got deleted by mistake. Now, do I also want to delete my public IP for this? Why not? Let's delete everything. The whole machine is gone. All right, the machine is now gone. If I refresh, it's not there. If I go to resource group, what components are gone as well? Let's check that out. This is all your image gallery and your image and the hard drive I created from the snapshot. This is the NSG and this is the network. The machine parts are gone. So what can we do now? Two things. You can go to virtual machine and create a new one, but using the old image which you backed up. Or you can go to the disk, click on it, and create a new VM out of it. So let's use the image this time. Let's go to VM, click on create your virtual machine, and then give it a new name, new VM. I don't need this. Standard is fine. All good, all good. Now, instead of using this image, I will go to my image, have nothing. How about shared? Yes, it is a gallery. So I'll go here and then I will select my size. I will give a new local admin username and password. Password 1234. Windows client. Disk will be a normal hard drive. Networking. I will still use the old network which I created. And for public IP, let it create a new public IP. Next, nothing in management, disable monitoring. We are not monitoring this machine. And let's create a new machine with the old image. Now I will let it deploy and then I will connect with this machine. All right, now let's check the machine. Here it is, and it is running. Now the public IP will change because we selected a new one. So I will just copy it. And this connection is gone. It's okay. Let's go and try to connect with the new machine. And here we go. We are connected. And you get your data back. So that's it for this lab. But remember, in this lab, we backed up our infrastructure and then we also restored it, but a lot of manual work was involved. In the next lab, we will see how we can use Azure backup options, where we can just back up our Azure with just few clicks, and it will be a repeated process. So we will set a set frequency, and the backups will be taken automatically by Azure. And with just few clicks, you can also restore it. And for that lab, you will also look at how easy it is to actually create vaults which provide the most secure way of backing up or storing your data in Azure. So good luck and take care. All right, welcome to next lab. In this lab, we will back up our virtual machine, but in Azure backup vaults. So it's a proper way of backing up your infrastructure. Now for that, I have one resource group, one virtual network, and one test machine. We are going to protect this machine. And I will also try to connect with this. Here we go, connect. All right. And once I'm connected, I will create a folder just for testing our backup and restore process. All right, this is our machine, and I will just create a test folder here. I will call it demo. Perfect. Now we have a test machine with a test folder inside it. Let's go back and focus on creating a backup infrastructure. So what do you have to search for? Well, a unified dashboard where you get all the backup and restore functionality is called Business Continuity Center. It used to be called Azure Backup Center, but they changed the name. But don't worry, the name is changed, the functionality is still the same. Now over here, you create your backup infrastructure. So before you start backing up anything, you need Vault. So for a virtual machine, you're not talking about just a disk. You're talking about the whole virtual machine. You need to create a specific vault, which you will find under Manage. You click on Vaults. Then you create one. Now, these are your scenarios. What do you want? You want to backup disk, blob, then you can just create a backup vault. But we are looking for recovering a service, so recovery service vault for the entire virtual machine. So I'll select that, click continue, select my resource group name, and give this vault a name. I will call it NITA Recovery Service Vault, RSV. Next, your redundancy. Well, you should have geo redundancy if you want highest availability. But for demo, locally redundant vaults are okay. Next, encryption. Remember, data at rest is always encrypted, so I will let Microsoft manage my encryption key. No, I don't want that. I want to be able to delete my vault. If you do this, then there will be a lock on your vault. You cannot delete it immediately. Yes, I want to access my vault, so I will just keep my public access on. Otherwise, the vault should have a private access with your environment. If no other environment needs the vault, then why should they be able to see it? So that is why you create private endpoints. And create. Now I will wait for this vault to create, only then we can move forward. All right, so my vault is deployed. Now we can go back to our vault. And here it is, my vault. I will open it. And let's start with the backup because we cannot restore anything. The vault is empty. So click on backup. Now, where is your load? The workload is running. Is it running on Azure or let's say the Azure HCI infrastructure or maybe on-prem? Mine is running on Azure. What do you want to backup? I want to backup virtual machine. Click on backup. Now here you can create your own backup policy, but the default policy is also good enough to just see the demo. So I'll go with a standard, once a day backup. Perfect. And now let's add the virtual machine which we want to backup. I want this machine. Perfect. Now you click on enable backup. Remember, enabling backup will not start the backup process. It will wait for its runtime. It's once a day. So it can be at any time. But you can actually force start a backup. So once it is initiated, I will show you how to force start a backup. All right, so this is done. Let's go back to our vault. Now I will click on vault. This is my vault. And now you don't have to go there to backup. It is already configured. So where should you go? Let's go to our protected items. Now backup items. Here you can see what items you're backing up. So we have the infrastructure of one virtual machine. I will click on it. And as you can see, it passed, but the initial backup is still pending. So at this point, if something goes wrong with the machine, yeah, you cannot recover it. So I will just go ahead and click on backup now. Click OK, and it will trigger the backup process. Now this can take some time. It depends on the size of the machine. Now, once my backup is done, then I will destroy this machine. Destroy means I will just delete it, and then we'll restore it. Now, if you go to your backup jobs, again, I will show you. So you go to Backup Center, go to Vaults, click on your vault, then you go to Backup Items, Machine, and over here you click on View Details, or you can also go Details, and you can look here. So this is just telling you that a snapshot is done. So one part is done. So it's successful at this time, the backup was created. Okay. You can also go from your backup process. So view detail. So snapshot is done. Transfer data to vault is still not started. This will take some time again. So this is not a quick process, but once it is completed, then we can start deleting our machine. All right, so I refreshed it. As you can see, now the transfer data to vault process started. All right, now, so the backup process is done. Now we can just delete this whole VM. You can also delete the content and you can restore just the content if you want. That is also possible. Or you can restore the whole VM. So deleting the whole VM will be more destructive. So I will go with that. So imagine the whole VM is gone, deleted. Now what will you do? Well, you will just go to your backup center, vault, you will go to your machine which you backed up, your backup item. This is the machine, all right, it's ready. Then you just click over here on the menu and click on Restore VM. Remember, if you delete the file, then there is no need to restore the whole VM. You can just do file recovery. But my whole VM is gone. I will do Restore the VM. Now, you have to select the restore point. In my case, there will be only one, but if you wait for multiple days, then there will be multiple restore points. So I will select my restore point. Now, if the machine is corrupted, but the infra is still there, the machine is there, you can replace the existing one. Or if you want to create a brand new one, let's say, you can also do that. Maybe, why will you create a new one? Because the old one is corrupted, so why not just replace it? Maybe you want to investigate that machine, like what went wrong. But in the meantime, you also want your systems to come online. So you can create a new one, you can start using it. In the meantime, you can also investigate on the old machine. So let's go with new one. Restore type. It will be an entire virtual machine. You can also restore just the disk if you want. Name will be new VM 01. TA network will be the same network. Subnet will be this one. Staging. Staging location is nothing. Staging is just a temporary buffer location. So you need a storage account for that. I don't have one. So you must create a storage account. So let me do that first. Go here, storage account, create, NITASA. Source group will be this one. This is okay. This is okay. Primary function is file. LRS is good enough. Next, next, next. Data protection, I don't need it. Next, tags and create it. Basically, your restore function will use this storage account as a buffer location to stage the whole VM. If that process goes well, only then it will do the final restore. So I'll wait for this to finish. All right, it's done. Let's go back to the same process. My vault, my machine. Then I will go to the backup item, that is virtual machine. Then I will restore it. So restore VM. Select a restore point. Perfect, it will be a new one. Create a virtual machine, name will be new VM. Select your subnet and this storage account as a staging location. Now restore. And that's it. Now you just have to wait for the process to finish. Perfect, so I think it's done. Yeah, restore process is done. If we go back and let's check out a new machine, it's still not showing up. It will. It takes time. Here we go. Now let's try to connect to it. Oh, you also have to create your NSG because we just restored the machine. But what about your NSG? Yeah, see, it's not there. So it will not restore your NSG. So how can you fix this issue? How about you apply NSG to your subnet level, not just with the machine? That will actually work. So I will go here and select RDP, create the rule. All right, now I will give it like 30 seconds, and then I will try to connect back. Let's go back and try to connect. Here we go. Password and enter. Now let's wait for the machine to boot up. And here we go with our demo folder intact. So you just restored it. So that was it for this demo, and I will see you in the next one.
Welcome back. Now, I hope you realize that backups are very critical and how easy it is to actually create backups on Azure. Or I will say how easy Azure made it, right? Now we can summarize this episode. Well, to summarize, Azure Backup provide cloud-based backup solution, protecting your virtual machine, files, database, SQL servers, and much more. Azure Site Recovery also ensures business continuity by replicating your workload to a secondary location, offering a quick failover or switching during any disaster. Now, to protect your data, we also have options of encryption. Well, encrypted backups and retention policies will also ensure that your data is both secure and compliant. Now, to save some money, we have this pay-as-you-go pricing model, which helps reduce the cost of traditional disaster recovery setups, especially on-prem. Now, for disaster recovery, you cannot actually just run it for the first time. No, you have to test it multiple times to make sure that when the disaster actually occurs, you are ready to switch over and it will work. So for that, automated testing will allow you to validate your DR plans, disaster recovery plan, without impacting the actual production environment. Well, with these tools, you can ensure your VMs and your data are protected and that your business is prepared for any disaster which will come in the future. That's it for this episode. I will see you in the next one. Take care.